the question of political campaigning or campaigning in preparation for a general election is critical to a democratic process. And one of the things that my party, the Jamaica Labour Party, has always established, and we have as candidate adhered to, is to ensure that we carry out the rule of law and issues pertaining to the rule of law. Order, decency, and simple respect for each other is critical, even when we banter with the political issues that we face. And I would just like to state categorically that I have always run a campaign that I think is in keeping not only with the protocols and the policies of the Jamaica Labour Party, for which I'm a member, but the laws of the country. And I have been in the constituency for more than 8 years. I have run and lost 2 general elections, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the work that I have done in the constituency, and the work that my workers and the supporters and well-wishers have given to the party and to my candidacy. I've always respected my opponent. From I came in, Mr. Bobby Pickersgill, and then Mr. Graham, and now we have Mr. Crawford. We have always conducted our campaign in a way that treats with respect and to accept that as leaders, we must at all times demonstrate a particular quality that will ensure that those we wish to serve will be guided by our own conduct and behavior. On Saturday night, last, I think that's the 3rd, I had a social for my workers and supporters along Grove Road in the vicinity of Scaley's business place. We started off because it was raining all day, so we started off somewhere after 4 o'clock. I got there minutes after 5 o'clock, and we were gathered together, having fun, meeting and greeting, and enjoying the atmosphere of togetherness and the atmosphere where JLP people meet and was communing one with the other. Sometime after 7 o'clock, while I was playing a game of dominoes, I was told that Mr. Crawford were on the scene. I didn't pay it any mind. I continued to play dominoes. And then he came over to where I was and he greeted me, and I greeted him. And I think that's the best way to do things, to act with each other in a way that our supporters, they themselves will emulate and to act among themselves despite the rivalry as such. I didn't take it for anything because I thought that he would have recognized that it was a JLP event and that himself and Mr. Herbert Garrix, the councillor for Linstead, who was on the scene, along with 4 others, 2 men who came with Mr. Crawford in his vehicle, and Mr. Garrix came there with a female and another man. However, they remain on the location, and to my surprise, Mr. Garrix, who was a justice of the peace and the councillor for Linstead, interfered with what he came and saw and told one of my supporters and worker that the music, which were all JLP music, that the music cannot be played there. And not only that, one of the gentlemen that came with Mr. Crawford in his vehicle turn off the music. Now, as a result of that, my supporters and workers became agitated, and a skirmish developed in the bar. Now, I view this as an act of confrontation and an act of indiscretion by Mr. Crawford and Mr. Garrix. Mr. Garrix is a justice of the peace, and he's also the counselor. I have a good relationship with him over the years. When we have our extravaganza in Yorton at Widalco, he's invited and he comes there, he plays domino with us. So we have this kind of relationship as decent human beings. Now, if I weren't there, this could have resulted in something very bad. And it would have been as a direct result of the indiscretion and the stupidity of Mr. Crawford and Mr. Garrix, the Justice of the Peace. Now, some of my supporters became so agitated that they threatened to puncture the tires and to do damage to the vehicles driven by Garrix and Crawford. I prevented that. I de-escalated the situation. I have since reported the matter to the police, and I have reported it formally for them to act on the matter. I have reported the matter to the hierarchy of the JLP, and I'm making this announcement so that all Jamaica can hear what has taken place. I want the ombudsman to know what has taken place. I want the leader of the opposition to know what has taken place. Mr. Crawford is one of the main proponents who speaks on national security. He speaks on education. He speaks on finance. He speaks on culture. He speaks on everything good or bad in the country. And simply an area that could have resulted in a conflict where people could be injured or killed as a result of our political history of confrontation, came into an environment of his opponent with over 100 people and conducted themselves in a way and manner that I am now convinced is an act of confrontation. Let me be very clear. I have reported the matter to the police. I am making a public pronouncement because in the future, if such a confrontation takes place, I am not sure that I will be able to prevent what may have happened at Grove Road on Saturday night. If it happens again, I will be holding Mr. Crawford, Mr. Garrix, the leader of the opposition, as the ones who have started political or violence in the country whilst an election is being contemplated. We have never had it in St. Catherine Northwestern. I have never had to treat with a matter such as this. And I am bringing it to the public's attention so that if and when there is a recurrence, Mr. Crawford will not be able to speak his way out of it. I am sending a warning to Mr. Damian Crawford and Mr. Herbert Garrix, and I'm calling on the custos for the parish, and I'm calling on the Minister of Justice to review the appointment of Mr. Garrix as a Justice of the Peace because of this act of confrontation. A Justice of the Peace must never find him or herself in a situation where they compromise law and order in any sphere or form in Jamaica. He should be made to account for what he did. He started it. He is the one that started the provocation and the confrontation, which could have fermented into an act of physical violence, which is what the JLP do not stand for. And I want this matter not to reoccur. So I'm calling on Mr. Damon Crawford to have some decency, to have some sense of clarity of purpose as to what his real role and functions are as a member of the upper house. We cannot have people who speak on both sides of their mouths about law and order, justice and relevance when it suits them, but in an act where they have not taken into consideration what the end result would have been, that both members of their presence could have been seriously compromised, and where members of my team could also find themselves being compromised. I have no intention to rackle with Mr. Crawford in any matter such as this in the future. I have no intention of allowing my workers and my supporters to be engaged in anything that is unlawful, anything that does not side with the law, or anything that does not resonate with order. We have no money to be expended on getting lawyers to defend people in court and to have people bail out of lockups and to be carrying people to the graveyard or to have people held up in our hospitals. What Mr. Crawford did on Saturday, along with Mr. Garrett, the Justice of the Peace, could have caused all the above. It must never happen again. This is my warning to them. Do not take our position on Saturday night as a means of weakness. It is a position of strength where we were able to restrain ourselves. Do not take it for weakness. I hope those that are listening have listened well. Have a good day.